Hey buddies, PotatoMcWhiskey here and welcome back to Let's Play Civilization 6 as France. Now I'm pretty sure we're going to discover the Void Singers next turn once we research printing. What I want to do is actually move my heroic relics somewhere safer because I'm pretty sure when you get the heroic relics or when you upgrade to the Void Singer building, your heroic relics actually get deleted. So what I want to do is find someone trustworthy like Hammurabi, and what I'll do is I'll trade him the Epic of Himiko, right? That'll cost me 30 gold per, he'll give me 30 gold per turn. But if you look, right, they're equally valued. So next turn, I should be able to buy it back off of him for the same price. So I'm going to sell one to Babylon because I'm good friends with him. I'm also going to sell one to Hungary because he'll do the same deal. And then next turn, I'll be able to buy those back once I have my Void Singer thing, because I did a little bit of testing and it actually does work that way. Apparently, if you have heroic epics and you pick up the Void Singers, your heroic epics get yeeted out of existence, which I do not want. I do not want that because they're a massive source of tourism for me. There we go. There's printing, which gives us this. We should now have secret access with Mongolia, and we have discovered the Void Singers, so we can now unlock the Void Singers, upgrade all of our monuments to Old God obelisks, and get Ritual, which will turn 20% of our faith income into gold, science, and culture. Now, adopting that will upset some of the AI. They won't like me quite as much. I'll create a great work in my capital as well, a nice great work of writing that I'll pop into Rouen. Rouen's also finished everything that it needs to. I'm kind of waiting. Can I not talk to the AI? No, I have to wait till they're like moaning at me because I adopted a thing. They're all gonna have a whinge at me, but we'll do a court festival now to grab a bit of tourism. There we go. Right, everyone is having a moan at me for the particular secret society that I picked. Everyone has an opinion on it, but now I can talk to Babylon and be like, hey, you give me back the Epic of Mulan. And he's gonna charge me a bit more than what I initially paid for, but I think that's fine. I think I'm willing to pay a little bit more to get my stuff back. I also need to talk to Hungary to get my Epic of Maui back, and he's gonna overcharge me a bit, but I think on on average, I come out roughly where I would have been, which is totally fine, and I get to keep my relics, and we can actually work towards getting more relics. I'd also like to buy this tile to get access to more silver, because every unique copy, or every extra spare copy of a luxury that I have increases the value of my court festivals. Create another great work, and we're up to 74 tourism per turn because we are in fact doubling the tourism from our great works of writing, and we're also working on more great writers. It'll take quite a while before we get another one, but I do think we're going to beat other people. We'll also use a Nancy for another chunk of science and culture, because I'd also like to get my medieval walls here for long-term tourism investment. It's just really efficient at this point in the game, so if I could pick that up nice and quick, I'll be able to make huge advantages out of that. We have a second settler coming now, and it would be really good for me to pick up this extra copy of tea, so I'm going to send that settler to the northwest, while this settler heads down south to pick up this amber, which is the only real luxury in the area, unfortunately. Now we have guilds, which is fine. In terms of this, we have a theater square finished in La Rochelle. This city has really bad production. It's a bit of a problem, so I think the amphitheater is the best. If I do a long-term investment, I'm working out better. I'm also going to promote Pingala to have grants in my capital. That way I get a little bit more value from the districts I have, the Holy Site and the Theater Square. Not a huge amount of extra value, but just a little bit of extra value goes a long way over the course of a game, and I didn't really have anything else I needed to invest into. Let's buy the tea tile as well. I want to get all of my luxuries online now at this phase of the game, because I am starting to work court festivals, and every luxury that I have online, it gives me a big advantage. There's castles, so I'll probably go through my cities and build those medieval walls before this era is out. And now that I have castles, I'd also like to pick up siege tactics, and Anansi is going to be super useful for that too, because he has 2 charges left. I have to kind of think carefully about where and when and what I research. I think I go for shipbuilding because I can get that in 2 turns, and then yeah, I'll be able to embark and grab these crabs, which works out great for me. Unless I have like a resource somewhere that I don't want. Oh, you know what I could do? I think I could, if I'm Suzerain of Kabul, I think I can eat their wheat actually. So I might even send a Nancy there to do that. Now we are in a normal age for the Renaissance, which kind of sucks. Not the end of the world. I think my best move here is Exodus of the Evangelists or Monumentality. And I think I'm going to be building a good few districts this era, although I'm not really. I'm probably going to get more value from spreading my religion, in all honesty, because I will get at least 2 religion spreads out of this era. Now, Babylon is in a dark age, so this is probably the best era for me to try to contest the loyalty in Rapicum, which means settlers are on the cards here, probably from Paris and probably from Toulouse or something like that. We'll figure out exactly where we want to get them, but I'm thinking some sort of builder play is good. I might want to also pick up a few extra heroes for the extra tourism, because the heroic relics are incredible for tourism, and I'll sweep through. There's medieval walls, or medieval fairs rather, but I'll probably sweep through my diplomacy on turn 130 and just try to get everyone to line up nicely with open borders. And I think if I can get a settler out here, if I could get a couple more settlers over in this area, I'm in great shape. The problem is I need a builder in my capital before I do anything, and that's going to take 7 turns. Could I purchase a builder? 440 gold? Not likely, although I'm probably better off hard building the settler and then churning out a builder in the near future. I probably should have spent my faith last turn while I was still in that golden age to get a settler in anticipation of the possible dark age, but like that was information. I didn't have that information. I can't make a call. Ooh, I don't like this. I don't like this settler right here. So this is a -5 spot. If I settle right here, I prevent him from settling for loyalty, and I can use a governor, ideally someone like, for example, Moksha in the city of Amboise, to prevent him from settling any closer, and I manage to maintain loyalty in here, and we'll start to hurt the loyalty in there. And then I can chop out these marsh tiles, buy a granary, and just really skyrocket the city's population very, very quickly to put extra pressure on Rapicum and Opus, which is something that I definitely want to do. Also work on an old god obelisk in here because faith is value. And of course, I can actually eat Cabal's wheat. So bye-bye wheat, 150 science and 140 culture for me, which will boost how quickly I can get siege tactics. Exactly what we want. It's an expensive technology and we're not making a huge amount of science per turn. Gentle eruption. Very cool. Really, really great tiles here. Probably worth buying with gold now. Although it's hard to know because gold is kind of a limited commodity. I would like to get a commercial hub for the extra trade routes. Those are valuable. And it could also be a thing where I maybe get a builder and chop out some of these jungle tiles to try to get myself a commercial hub or something in here. But I could also work court festivals. I would maybe like to build up this city a little bit before I do that. All right, now where exactly am I going to settle this city? I think I'd like to preserve any chops and stuff. So if I settle like there, I capture as many of these chops as possible, of these jungle chops. Well, if I couldn't settle here, unfortunately. Yeah, if I settle right here, I capture these chops, and then I can skyrocket out some stuff. So hard click, lots of population. Once this turn, and once next turn, and then I can do the same thing again. Builder in Calais, and I think we made the decision that this was going to be a low appeal area. So I'm just going to start slapping down a ton of mines in this region, and I might even go double builder just to make that happen quicker. The old god obelisk is completed in Montpellier. I do need to keep in mind that I'm probably going to want medieval walls and Renaissance walls in here for the eventual conservation tourism. That's going to be a great use of my passive sort of income, and I'm not going to be selling any luxuries. I need to think of things that I can sell to the AI. Probably be good to unlock some strategics. That's going to be probably important for my long-term play. This builder is going to head over to Toulouse to start doing the chopping there. This could be a high appeal area, so I don't know if I'm going to put down mines and stuff. I might stick to the regular stuff in here. I would love to do ancient walls and things like that, although maybe this builder is better used putting down a couple of lumber mills first. Yeah, I think a couple of lumber mills in Rhymes first is the... Although I do feel like it's okay to build those slowly if I get things like a watermill, granary, old god obelisk and just get my value up real quick. But the nice thing is, now that I have the Void Singers, my science and culture isn't so far behind the AI. I would have liked to have gotten that a little bit earlier into the game because I'm definitely behind, super hardcore behind where I should be due to the lack of Void Singers. I would have been generating that science and culture and gold way earlier into the game. I should start thinking about archaeological museums to extract heroic relics as well as relics in general, and I should also start thinking about campuses to maybe push for Mary Leakey in the modern era. There's a lot going on in my head when I'm thinking about this, but we have access to chateaus, so builders now have extremely high value. So Calais will probably be a builder production center, and I'll just spam out builders and slowly improve my territory while I build infrastructure across my empire. Right, so we have humanism. I think my next objective is to get Merchant Republic for the 15% production towards districts and the 10% gold buff, as well as just the really good government in general. And I think Anansi, I would like Anansi to die somewhere inside my territory. We'll harvest this. That'll boost the city to 5 population now. It'll go to 5 next turn. It says lost, but it's just like being weird. If I refresh the city, it's 1 turn until growth. You're probably wondering why I left this huge swath of desert open. That's because I'm going to be recalling, who is it again? Their name is Maui. I'm going to be recalling Maui when he goes away. In fact, you know what? It might even be worth it to delete him. He's going away in 9 turns anyway, but I'm going to recall him soon to fill even more luxuries into this area. And this city is now in good shape. What's the appeal like over here? It's not amazing. So we don't have a river, so I don't think we need to push for appeal in this area. So I think quarries are actually fine. It would give this city just that little bit more production to justify its existence, put a little bit more pressure on him. He actually had to put a governor in this city to hold loyalty. So I think pressing for population now in some of these cities is going to be a good move. So things like an aqueduct might be really, really good, and getting a farm triangle in here, for example, could be really good to push the population higher. I probably should have actually extracted this and put a farm triangle down in this city. Although the city doesn't have access to an aqueduct, so that maybe doesn't work as well. And I would like you to die right there. Right, pop down on mine. I want him to die on this tile so that he creates a relic there, because I'm pretty sure the first time a hero dies, he drops a archaeological site for relics. All right, cool. I will refuse any trades for my luxuries because I'm working at court festival. And what I'll do is I'll continuously check my culture generation screen. You can see here, last turn, it said I generated 63 tourism against Hammurabi. And I'll check the turn after I finish the court festival to see just how much we get. Trajan is running away with culture, and that's because he gets free monuments. So I would like to slow him down somehow, and I don't really know a way to do that without going to war with him, which might honestly be the best thing to do. Problem is he's really far ahead of me technologically, so I don't really have a whole lot of options to actually slow him down. And I'm just gonna have to accept that it's gonna be a tough game where he generates a lot of culture. Pop down a lumber mill there, lovely. I should also consider placing my second district in Montpellier. In terms of tourism generation, commercial hubs, I feel like rank 2 for tourism generation. But I also want to get my amphitheater done. Hungary wants a joint war with Trajan, but that would just be tragic for me because he is too far away to be useful in this war. I do have a ton of walls and I have crossbowmen, so I may accept this war for the point of like slowing down Trajan. And I think that's a reasonable thing to do, especially because it'll make friends with everyone that hates Trajan, which is basically the entire world is at war with him. So there's a catastrophic eruption. Anansi has expired. There's siege tactics. We have access to Merchant Republic, and we got the Epic of Anansi. Lovely. Let's plug in Merchant Republic. We're going to place in some new cards into my government. We have serfdom and colonization. Autocratic legacy has some value. I'm trying to think what has the most value for me right now. If I wanted to do some kind of unit production, I would have to wait till I had coursers, which I could run around his territory to do damage. Theater square adjacency is kind of okay. It's not great. Trade confederation, not great. I feel like merchant confederation is okay. It's a little bit of gold out of this slot that I won't be able to get anywhere else. I just don't have the most amazing cards. It's kind of what's, or rather, my empire isn't set up to take advantage of these cards is my problem. So maybe land surveyors to make tiles cheaper. I do have a lot of tiles I would like to buy. That seems reasonable. And then autocratic legacy. It's not an amazing government, but it will do the trick. It looks like the emergency failed, which is unfortunate. Anansi died, and we have access to Renaissance walls, which is kind of my priority right now. I do have coursers, so I may switch over here to research divine right to get access to chivalry, and then produce some coursers. His cities are quite strong. He probably has field cannons, but I could maybe sneak some coursers out this way and like run around. The problem is he has so many encampments up. That's like my big problem right now. I would almost certainly need cuirassiers to really compete and like actually be able to hit him hard. It really depends. Does he have field cannons? He has pike and shot. Yeah, no, I can't pillage him. Okay, he has pike and shot. There's no way I'm doing anything to him. So scratch that idea on the head. We're not going to be building coursers. Instead, we'll build like a crossbowman to defend, and next turn we'll switch. We just want to have like a crossbowman, maybe 3 crossbowmen across our defensive city. So 1 in Calais, in Paris, and in Rouen. I think that should be enough to hold him off. Tech-wise, for tourism, the only real thing in the tech tree that gives me tourism is computers. So I should be looking for things like industrialization, or I think the steel gives me +1 production from lumber mills, and I have a lot of lumber mills. I could go for early Eiffel Tower, which is a very unorthodox play that I've never really done before. I think I'll pick up mathematics. I'll probably go celestial navigation, mathematics into military engineering into steel, which I normally get this much later in the game. But getting access to the Eiffel Tower would give me a ton of faith from the appeal, because I have the appeal pantheon, and a lot of production from my lumber mills. So I feel like this is kind of like the industrialization path for like a different type of civ. I could also just go the traditional industrialization path, which is like industrialization into computers. But I feel like early Eiffel Tower has a lot of value. So we'll do Celestial Navigation Mathematics into. It does mean, however, that I'm going to want to get all my Renaissance walls done very early. So that's going to be a big priority for me, to the point where I'm switching away cities from things they're currently building that also have value. I have a trade route up, and ideally I would be trading with Rome to get a maximum pressure against him. It's not an option. So who am I generating the most tourism against right now? Looks like it's Wilhelmina, because she doesn't have a religion and she's too far away to trade. So honestly, weirdly enough, my best option is probably Hammurabi. But I'll move this trade route up to Calais to get a road, a little bit better of a road. Let's also harvest in here. What would I like to harvest for is my question. Something with housing, but I don't really have anything that gives me housing. So I may just go industrial zone. It doesn't do a lot for me. It gives me maybe some industrial zone points, which do have value. So I'll just build that. We'll finish the old god obelisk and get to work on an industrial zone. That seems fine. Divine right is complete. That means I want to change my government. I will take out land surveyors and plug in feudal contract, so I can build crossbowmen a little bit quicker to defend myself against Rome, since I'm going to be the one taking the brunt of his attacks. Diplomatic service would be nice for the ability to construct spies. I don't know why I'm researching all these so quickly. My culture must have like banded rapidly. Oh, I forgot to check. Yeah, it's saying I'm winning in 26 turns off the back of a court festival. So I think I'm going to start spamming court festivals once I have my walls up. It's like a long-term investment versus a short-term investment. Let's organize this by gold, and it does look like Eshuna or Mashkan Shapar. So I'm going to go for a Mashkan Shapir, and I also want to improve this. Builders, man, I need so many builders. It's honestly the thing that's holding me back right now, is I just do not have enough builders out. So that's why Calais is just mass producing them. Really hope this drought goes away, because it's causing the city to starve. All right, lighthouse researched and diplomatic service. We can start work on a spy. Head down to assist Toulouse. Mercantilism would be good to pick up as well. That gives me lumber mills on rainforest, although I'll probably be harvesting lumber mills. It would be nice to get logistics to move my builders around a little easier. But I think this is where I beeline conservation. That's why I'm getting my walls prepped. So I beeline conservation, and that will do me great work. So Rouen, I want my Renaissance walls up. I should probably place my other districts in here. I can place one more district before they become too expensive. Probably should have placed them a long time ago, which is kind of a downside. I think an entertainment complex in here makes sense. It would give me appeal in the local area. That could lead to more faith, and it would give me adjacency on my theater square. So I'm going to place the entertainment complex like so, but I'll do probably like Renaissance walls. And if I build an archaeological museum, I'll get the boost for natural history. And they also want me to research astronomy. Am I close to astronomy? It would take me what looks to be 1, 6, 12, so that's 18 turns to get that. And I'm going to research it before that time limit. So that's no good, no bueno. So we'll just keep beelining for steel. I'm just trying to optimize my path here. Yeah, so we'll go Renaissance walls into that. That's fine. But I'll actually want an archaeological museum maybe before. Yep. Get walls. I don't know. Maybe it's wrong to do this, but I feel like the passive tourism of walls is just a good investment right now, because it's going to pay off over the long haul of the game. Maybe it's more efficient to do court festivals. I don't know. Like if I do the maths on it right now, court festival costs me 400 production. I have 3, 4, 7, 9, 13 bare luxuries. 13 times 50 is 650 tourism. Say for example in Paris, it takes it 25 turns to do that. If I take 650 tourism divided by 25, that's 26 tourism per turn. Whereas Renaissance, or actually these walls are only worth like 2 per turn. So it's actually really inefficient. Really inefficient what I'm doing right now. I really should be just maximizing production and then working court festivals, which means purchase, builder, click, then bam, court festival. I feel like I need long-term culture generation to preserve. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Let's try it. Let's go all in court festivals. Let's do it. Anywhere I'm already building walls, I'll finish them, of course. But I'm also going early steel. Yeah. All right, whatever. I'll get the walls. I'm building walls at triple speed, so this is the most efficient time in the entire game to get walls. So that's why I'm doing this. I forgot about that and just remembered it there. Is that at the current time of the game, I'm getting 300% production or triple production towards walls. So building walls right now is super efficient. So even if those other things produce more tourism per turn, if I'm going to get walls, now is the time. I need an art museum for this artist rather. Okay, Renaissance walls. I harvested one forest, and the 64 production it harvested instantly completed a Renaissance wall in this city. That's just how production production efficient they are. Oh, that's right. My my old god obelisks can actually hold great work, so I should take advantage of that wherever I can. I don't need art museums. Amazing. I could just go full archaeological museums. I forgot about that. It's all this like little, oh wait, where did I get this skirmisher? Did I build a skirmisher or did a scout find a tribal village? I think a scout found a tribal village and got me a skirmisher, which is pretty cool. Yep, he definitely has field cannons. Maui has died. He has field cannons. Let's pillage for health and retreat. So he nearly one-shot my horsemen. So coursers are 100% no-go. Just wanted to double check that. And I'd like a chateau here. Bam, +4 era score, as well as the lovely appeal. Pretty sure they can be built next to each other. What am I building in here? Oh, I should have put the entertainment complex there. That's a small mistake. All start to see the plan come together. Our tourism was up to 100 per turn. We have 11 out of 94 tourists. We're on good pace. Let's pop you into the city and heal, and then we'll upgrade you to a courser, see if we can do some fun stuff with you. I should start buying more heroic epics, and I should also look to cities that could build a heroic, like dedication to a hero. So, for example, it's basically like a wonder. So even if I don't complete it, I don't mind. Of all of these, I would like Sun Wukong the most, but I'd like to build them in a city that already has Renaissance walls and doesn't have a hero. I have a ton of faith as well. There might be things I want to buy with that faith, like Great People, for example. I don't have a whole lot of uses for my faith right now, and I'm under a lot of production pressure at the moment. I just have too many things to build and not enough time to build them. It's kind of a problem I run into a lot of my games, is that I get a little ambitious. Let's move Magnus, now that we've done basically all the chopping in this city. Yeah, we've done all the chopping. We'll reassign Magnus over to Rhymes, and then we'll get the builders in position there as well. It's all coming together. I definitely need to settle up here. I need another settler. It's a mistake on my part to not have that. I need my final settler to get these last two luxuries, which will further improve my court festivals. Renaissance walls in Calais are finished. We can start working on some other stuff. We've got 2 turns until the World Congress is over, where it will no longer be efficient to build walls. It's a bit of a mistake, actually. I should have built them here. Need to put as much in as possible into the walls to get them done ASAP. This city has 0 districts, which is obviously a mistake, but it has really good production. Maybe I could do a heroic tale in here. Let me have a look. Did you already do a dedication, Calais? Calais already did one, so that's no good. It's kind of unfortunate. It is what it is. This could actually be a good place to make my industrial zone city. So I'll probably do this. Aqueduct industrial zone, make an industrial zone city. I'll place that there. And I'd also like a theater square in here. The industrial zone will just act as a way to give extra production to my nearby cities. So rather than use the city to do court festivals. I guess we need to make a decision about Bordeaux. Really, builders are going to be a big deal, but it's time to start doing court festivals. I can't dilly-dally anymore. I've been delaying on doing the court festivals, but I need to start pumping them. They take 26 turns to kick in some cities because their production is so low. And any more delays will just mean less tourism and a harder game. Let's make some friends too. We'll just declare friendships. We won't get alliances with people unless we really need to. We should also establish embassies with everyone we can, because I'm pretty sure we get diplomatic favor now that we have a diplomatic quarter. We might have to build some buildings or something like that to make sure that works. But embassies, good. Thumbs up. Happy with that. Yeah, you can see here we're getting +4 from embassies, although that might be from people sending embassies to me. I can't remember. Let's do 100% production towards buildings in theater squares. I'm going to put all of my diplomatic favor in there in the hope that it passes, and then I will target Rome with grievances just to see if we can get that passed. I'm really hoping the theater square one passes, because if it does, it means I can efficiently build up 100% production towards theater squares. Amazing. Right, so that means instead of doing court festivals, which, you know, again we're delaying, it's actually really efficient to build things like archaeological museums, even in cities like Bordeaux. Also, I need to place another district in Bordeaux. What do I place? Commercial hubs, I feel like, are my tier 2. So, yep, amphitheaters. He has cavalry. Oof. Right, get out of there. That's actually really bad. I need peace. He's gonna accept peace. He has cavalry. He has cavalry corps. There's nothing I can do against Rome anymore. It's a lost cause. Appeal-wise, though, things are looking real spicy over here. Makes me very happy. Need more builders. Just do not have enough. And Calais is my builder construction area, so I can't actually afford to stop off and build up infrastructure in here. 3,000 faith in the bank is probably a mistake. Magnus is established here next turn. We can start chopping. All right, what do we want to chop out here? I think we would like to chop out a theater square. So we'll chop out the old god obelisk, place the theater square, probably place the commercial hub as well, because that's an important part of our long-term strategy. Trying to maintain a hybrid strategy here. We harvest there. You run down this way. We're starting to get somewhere, I feel like, on the tourism front. Like, this number over here is expanding, but I'm also expanding pretty rapidly. I think his culture is a little bit too high right now, and I need to rein him in. I don't know how I would even do that. I do feel like having suzerainty of Vilnius, or at the very least, yeah, I think suzerainty of Vilnius plays well into my hands here. It gives me vision of the map. It gives me extra culture. Culture is huge because it gets me the conservation faster. Faster I get the conservation, the more tourism I get. We will have a we're in the middle of a tourism boom. Sell no luxuries because court festivals, even though I'm not running them, it's just kind of me being dumb. A little bit dumb. Maui, I can't recruit Maui. I can recruit Maui. If I move this archer out of the city, can I recruit Maui? Wait, where does Maui come from again? Does anyone remember? Is it Ruin? Oh, there's Maui. Right. Generate more luxuries. We did find a couple of nighters in there. I think we knew about those. Let's see. Ideally near a river over here is perfect because that's where we can get chateaus. So that's the great thing about desert. All right, we have the archaeological museum. I can't build archaeologists yet. God, I'm never going to get these court festivals because I'm going to need... I'll just have to purchase the guys, the whatchamacallums, the archaeologists. I'll just have to somehow get gold and do it that way. Like, I have so much faith, but nothing to spend it on. You know what I'll do? I'm going to pick up Himiko again. And maybe even pick up Anansi again. Because if I get Himiko again, I'm getting gold from my friendship with these city-states. And Cinguetti is like all the way over here. They give me +1 faith for every follower of my religion in majority. Who would do well for me? I don't feel like Mitla does anything for me. It really is just like not much in the way of things. So how long would it take you to get the Cinguetti? It would take you a very, very long time. 17 turns, and your lifespan is only 44 turns. We'll give it a go. We'll try to get control of Cinguetti. I just went through and made sure I have open borders with everyone on turn 150, or 149 rather, because it lines up pretty nicely. And now I can go around and run around Rome's area and destroy all of his luxuries. With the Nancy, because I have open borders with him, let's harvest here. That finishes that. Then we'll improve that. I think I've reached the point in the game where court festivals are super efficient, despite the fact that I have archaeological museums available. Although this is the best time to build archaeological museums, and then I can purchase archaeologists. So maybe I will go for archaeological museums. Man, I'm kind of struggling. I go back and forth on my decisions a lot because I'm kind of in unknown territory for me. I've never played this kind of a game with this hero before, so there's a lot of unknowns, and it's all based around that unique ability that she has. All right, let's place praying for a luxury. Another copy of ivory. Lovely. Perhaps another luxury. Kaboom. Incense. Perfect. I already have incense, so more is better. We have natural history. We can see antiquity sites. In particular, we're going to want to be looking for, if I go to antiquity sites, we're going to want to be looking for the heroic ones. And I have a ton in my territory. So I think I need to start selling something off to get more gold so I can buy archaeologists sooner. Let's talk to Mongolia, see what he pays for diplomatic favor these days. I'm hoping that he pays well. 17 gold per turn is decent. That gets me a little bit closer. I kind of need more though. Pays 10 gold per turn for cotton, but I lose 50 tourism per push. I feel like 10 gold per turn is worth like 3 tourism per turn that I lose or so, depending. Especially if it gets me archaeologists sooner and I can get my heroic relics. Yes, absolutely. If it gets me my heroic relics sooner, then I think selling luxuries is worth it. Ideally, I'll sell cotton, especially because I'm already expanding my current holding of luxuries. I want to find good deals. I don't want to just sell to anyone though. It's like pretty important. Lovely. Feeling a bit more confident now. I don't think I care about chanceries. It would get me more envoys a little bit sooner. Quite a bit sooner, actually. It almost increases my generation rate by 40% or so. Whatever 3 divided by 7 is, it's pretty close to half. Oh, I never built Petra. Did I just forget? Did I just forget that I could build Petra this game? I think I did. I think I just forgot. Oops. 18 turns for an archaeologist versus 23 for a court festival. I think that's worth it. Ooh, I'd also like to get more heroes. They have so much value, but court festival, we're entering into the late game and we need to start powering hard. Yeah, I don't think we can really avoid it at this point. We have to power hard for the late game. This is a very nice copy of coffee that Rome has. Yoink! It's honestly, my favorite passive aggressive ability because I'm not technically at war with him, but I can ruin his territory. There's already a resource on this tile, so I'll use Maui here instead. And we have a nice chain of luxuries in my desert. We'll have to grab those luxuries at some point in the future, but quite happy with the current status of the game. That's Maui essentially done for. I'll just put him on auto explore. He's already died. I should already have his relic somewhere. So an auto exploring. Oh, these can be put on floodplains. Ooh. I'm quite a while away from flight, which is where where you get the actual culture from the tourism from these. So the game might be over before I ever reach there, but it's something to keep in mind as I build them. Nice copy of dyes. Yoink! No more dyes for you, buddy. And I you know what? The best part is I also get culture and science out of doing that. It's like so amazing. It's like the most troll hero in the entire game. Well, I guess Hercules might take that mantle because he can literally like yeet people's districts back to the Stone Age. Another copy of dyes destroyed, and it also unlocked metal casting for me. Yoinkarino. Where else do they have things? Oh, there's more coffee. They don't have that improved though. Is that? Oh no, that I thought that was Ruhr Valley for a second. It has kind of a similar shape. It's the Minakshi Temple, right? Yeah, Minakshi Temple. Minakshi Temple. Let's see, luxuries. Where can I destroy his empire's soul and heart? That's by killing his luxuries. I don't think he has many more. In fact, if I go talk to Rome, I think he has 3 copies. He must have settled on dyes. I need to find where his marble and coffee are and like destroy them. Oh, it's over here. Right, beautiful. There's another one over here, but if I can destroy this, he won't have access to marble anymore. And he must be getting coffee from somewhere other than his territory, because the only way I can see him getting it is like suzerainty, because he doesn't have any coffee improved, because these are unimproved as far as I can tell. He must be getting coffee from somewhere that I just can't discern. So I'll kill his marble. What can I kill along the way that would ruin it? Is this a hill? I can kill that stone actually and hurt his production. Pop down a chateau here, boost these up, get a little bit more appeal in the area. I will need to get rid of some of these jungles. I definitely need another settler in here to slap down a bunch of chateaus in the late game. But I'm feeling like I'm still feeling really, really good about this game. We're making wait, where is that? Where did I even find that? Oh, it's all the way over here. Yeah, but I'm feeling great about this game. Did I never research shipbuilding? Oh, sweet. I did. Can you just not embark because you have no movement? Oh, you have no movement, right. Bye stone. Yoink. Oh my god, that erases like all the yields on that tile essentially. I have my first musician. I'm gonna have to start using those old god obelisks to store them. More than 120 tourism per turn. We have 18 out of 131 tourists required, so we're falling behind a little bit, but I think that's gonna stop being a problem once we start finishing some of these court festivals, and I'm getting closer and closer to just pumping really, really hard for those. I almost have enough to buy my first archaeologist, and I'm gonna get that in probably Rouen or Paris. Probably Paris, to be honest. Although, I could also go for naturalists here. Oh, that's something I didn't consider, that I need to be spending my faith on naturalists. Oh, I wasn't thinking about that because I was so focused on other areas of the game. I need to think now, where will I get those? Well, I could definitely get one over here. I feel like a naturalist would fit quite well in like this section. Oh, I wasn't thinking about that at all. Not at all. So now I need to start thinking about my appeal. This really should have been a high appeal area. Oopsie doopsie. I feel like incorporating these 3 tiles right here into a thing is the right move. So I'll get a settler in my capital. I'll move it over here. I'll do a national park right there. All right, let's have a nice look here at my cities. Just having a look around at my cities to try and identify where can I do tile improvements that will either give me immediate tourism or production. So for example, this city is working these, these are pretty decent tiles, these chateaus, but I would much rather be working things like these lumber mills and these forest tiles, which means I want to send this builder over here to get those improved. And I should probably honestly get rid of this and plug in logistics so I can move my builders around a little bit easier, because every turn I shave off of improving a tile is just an advantage that I've gained. And we'll work on civil engineering so we can build builders more efficiently as well. Renaissance era ends in 3 turns. Let's start getting suzerainty of Chinguetti. I have 2 gray people. It's going to give me a little bit of era score. I need 4 era score in as few turns. So one of the ways that I could get era score, let me see, do I have any gray people popping off? Probably the best way to get era score is honestly to make a national park. That's my reality right now, and that's probably going to involve this city up here. Yeah, it's almost certainly has to involve this city. If I get a national park, I'll get enough. I have 3 turns, so I'm cutting it very, very close, actually. I'm cutting it super... In fact, this is as close as you can cut it. What I'll do is I'll move the artist out of the city. I'll create the great work of writing. Then the great work of writing can be moved out of, I think is it Toulouse that city is? Yeah, it's Toulouse. I can move that out of there instantly to Limoges. And then next turn I'll place one in and I'll move you to Bordeaux. Settle this city, instantly improve the salt. That'll boost up my tourism generation. Then I will faith purchase a naturalist, step you into the water, look for an ideal location for a national park. And that's going to involve buying these 2 tiles. These tiles will never be good. I don't care about this city. It exists to generate tourism. And then I can place that and get a golden age. So I'm happy with that as far as my city status goes. And then next turn I can also buy an archaeologist and start getting my heroic relics. I'll make another copy of this. You create a great work. Tourism's up to nearly 200 per turn. Rome is on 144 tourism or culture per turn, so I should start outpacing him soon. I think I'm on the cusp of like overtaking the AI and actually like making real progress towards victory. So this is bad news. He's settling here. Like I said, I've delayed far too much, but that means that this settler is useless and I'll just cancel it because it does nothing for me. We'll start working court festivals in my capital. I could place districts, I could build districts, maybe I could build the intelligence agency, but I really do feel like now is the time to go for court festivals and try to just pump hard for the victory. We gotta just pump as much tourism as we can and get these like extra last few luxuries I have lying around. I have like a stem of luxuries inside my borders here, or inside my territory, you know, my realm, I guess, that I need to get online to further enhance my tourism generation. All right, boom, place national park, get 4 era score, guarantee the golden age. It is desert, so I can't place forest on it, so that the yields and you know, appeal will always be kind of crappy, but whatever, this city does its job, right? It's generating tourism for me. The world enters into the industrial era. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. We'll make a dedication. Our dedication will be a heartbeat of steam, really is the only one that looks good. I don't have enough trade routes to justify reform the coinage. Yeah, none of these are really good for me right now, so I'll just take heartbeat of steam. I think it's the next era that I would have liked the golden age, but the loyalty pressure may dissuade Rome from going here if he's in a dark age. He's not, he's in a normal age. I'm the only one in a golden age, which, you know, is a little bit gloat worthy. We'll get this builder heading down here to start, you know, improving all these luxuries. Speaking of improving these luxuries, yoink. And we're 2 turns away from our court festival finishing. I'm excited to see what the results are from that. I'm gonna like look next turn and then the turn after to see what the tourism generation was. I meant to do that earlier and I forgot because I'm a big dum-dum. But my priority for this turn is to check this number and then look again next turn. It still says 2. Are you kidding me? It got more expensive. Does it get more expensive every time I research a tech or something? I think that's what it is, because I just researched ballistics and civil engineering, or I just researched civil engineering, so it's unfortunate. Speaking of which, it's time to do indoctrination so I can get cultists. And really what I'm looking for from cultists is the relic generation. I don't really care about anything else. And I have room for, I can't tell how much room I have for these. I don't have a massive amount of room because I have like a bunch of works, but it looks like I have maybe, if I could find, heroic relics going to go in the heroic relic slot. But if I look here, it can be like 1, 2, 3, 4 relics. So I should buy 4 cultists, I think, until I open up more room. Plug in public works for 30% production towards builders, which means I'll be able to improve my tiles a few turns sooner. And I also want to buy this like so to max out my tourism generation. And now I feel comfortable spending money to get an archaeologist. My religion is struggling somehow, even though my religion is like extremely well established over here. I don't understand it. Like this city has a down arrow, converts in so many turns, converts in so many turns. I might have to do something about this. It's only slightly downward pressure, but it's still downward pressure, and I don't like that. Did I just click the wrong tile or something? I think I did. I meant to go kill the marble. I think Maui died over here, right? I think it was. And it was a hero. Yes. Ancestral hero. Right, so we found the Torch of Maui, which is perfect because now it goes into Rouen and I get an extra 30 tourism per turn from that. I really do feel like Reliquaries and Heroes and Legends mode are just like 2 friends, 2 peas in a pod that were made for each other. All right, lovely. We just finished this. Now, last turn I checked this and I had 20 tourists. I just finished one of these projects in the city of Rouen, and now I have 26. Yeah, let's do more of those. Let's do more of those things, please. My God, that's insane. I need to start doing more. I need to start doing more of them. I need to get the production up in my cities. Where did I let Anansi die again? I'm forgetting. Was it over here? I feel like it was somewhere over here. What was this one again? Okay, that's just a classical era. I'll take a barb one. I know I let him die somewhere like up here, but I can always buy another archaeologist. I'll get all these eventually because I have a ton of archaeological places. Click 150 faith and an envoy which Ngeti. Yeet away Rome's marble, get nationalism out of that. Take curator on Pingala for the extra little bit of tourism in my capital. It's not huge, but it does make a difference. We'll buy some salt for even more tourism. I don't know, this is just like a really fun build that I'm enjoying. I'm sitting on 6 envoys. I'll take Kabul back. I just like having Kabul. I'll take Chingeti as well. Oh, I was going to use, well, I want to get the faith from using her, so it's better to put your envoys in before you use her. That's like my hot take anyway. I've got one more charge on Anansi to ruin Rome's production, and I think that copper resource gotta go. Wait, is that Patala Palace? Okay, he's building Patala Palace. I'm kind of worried that someone might be building Cristo Redentor. It's one of my favorite wonders in the entire game, or even delightful. It's around about the time of the game where some AIs, if they got really, really far ahead, they might do it, because Rome's on like 300 science per turn. I wouldn't be surprised if he's close to getting rocketry unlocked, which is super scary. He's got 42 techs research compared to my 29, which is kind of insane. Babylon, 120 science, and they're up to 42 techs as well. So they're really doing really, really good, considering their empire is so small that I kind of boxed them in a bit. Let's take a Hammurabi artifact now. I want to get as many... Oh, I should have taken a Granada one. Damn. I don't know why Persia thinks I have troops on his borders. I have like a horseman. I'm a bit confused about that one. Right, builder completed in Marseille, and the objective here was to get a bit more production in here. Oh, I think some kind of natural disaster did damage here, because I'd already built that lumber mill. But like, this court festival will take 39 turns. It's 510 production. Need to get that production up. There isn't really a way, really, so we'll just do more. I've got more and more luxuries coming online, which is fantastic. I'm very, very happy about that. And I've also got my cultists starting to hit Babylon, so we can start generating those relics as well. Feeling really, really good about this. I'm just going to delete Himiko because I don't have a use for her right now. She used all her charges, and I'm not in a war. I don't want to walk her all the way back, so she gets deleted. Excavate artifacts. This is another classical era one. I'll take one for myself. So that's that. I'll need another archaeologist to dig for heroic relics. I'm only making 240 tourism per turn, but that should be more than enough. First relic, second relic, third relic, and we'll get the fourth one next turn. That gives me a huge boost to tourism, up to 340 now over the course of a single turn, thanks to all these relics. They're just incredible. Plus, the amount of faith they generate for me is insane too. I'm up to 172 faith per turn. I am going to need more room for relics though, which might involve building holy sites. Although, it's way too late in the game to build holy sites. Let's yeet. Our final yeet with Anansi will get rid of this copper tile. Boom. And we have thoroughly, I would say, damaged Rome's land. I don't think we wrecked him, but I definitely feel like we did significant damage to his territory. Let's harvest out that builder. This city needs to start getting improved. Things like chateaus, lumber mills, all that jazz. The city should also get to work on court festivals. I've near enough every city working on court festivals at this point, and I have builders running around trying to get my production up so that I'm more efficient at doing it. There's urbanization. We're not even going to bother with neighborhoods this game. We're just going to gamble everything. We're up to down to 35 turns on this. If I can get a couple more lumber mills in here, the city will be able to produce them relatively quickly. And there's our fourth relic. Beautiful. It's claiming that I win in 62 turns, but I feel like I can bring that down. And honestly, if I had been a little bit luckier and maybe a bit better at like managing this, and maybe if I had pushed harder and earlier, I could have got this down even more. But I have 33 out of 157, and in a few turns, this one's going to complete. I'm really, really hyped to see how the number jumps. So we have 34 out of 161, and we are one turn from finishing a court festival. We researched mass media, and it still says 34, but if I refresh this screen, we just got 5 tourists from finishing a single one of these projects. We jumped up to 41 out of 163. Considering we're also passively generating tourists at a pretty good rate with our tourism generation, and we're also skyrocketing up to some of the late game tourism generation things, and especially things like democracy that could even further make our empire insane, I feel like I might be able to win next episode. But I'm going to call that the end of this episode. I love you all very, very much, and I hope you guys are... Oh god, I forgot my own outro. Cut the feed. Bye!